Ladies and gentlemen, the Fed's going to raise interest rates up to 4 times this year. Inflation could lead Fed to hike rates more than 4 times in 2022, Goldman Sachs. What do you think that's going to do to Bitcoin, to the Dow, to equities, the stock market, any speculative investment? Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I know that a lot of people, a lot of my viewers aren't really interested in the topic of the stock market. A lot are, but I know that a lot of people say, okay, well, that's not really politics. This is a channel devoted to politics. The stock market, inflation, the upcoming recession, and Elon Musk predicted that. And I'm saying also that there's going to be a recession. All of these things are actually political topics. There's one political side, and I wrote about this in The Federalist. And we'll get to the Dow and we'll get to to Bitcoin going down in price in a second. Bitcoin's going to get to 10,000. The Dow is going to get to 20,000. I don't want that to happen, but unfortunately, it's going to take place. I wrote in The Federalist in October of last year. The article is in the pinned comment. Why are Democrats hurtling the United States towards a stock market crash? I wrote about this. I predicted it. I told everybody, every segment. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Tell your friends about this channel. Not many people have actually been published telling the world there's going to be a stock market crash, and then there's a stock market crash. And we're seeing it in real time, whether it's happening in 1 day or 5 days or 5 days or 1 month. The thing's going to tank to 20,000, Dow to 20,000, and Bitcoin, unfortunately, to 10,000. But if you look at this article, New York Post, inflation could lead Fed to hike rates more than 4 times in 2022. Either inflation or interest rate increases are going to absolutely obliterate the market. When that happens, you can see what's taken place with the Dow Jones. You can see you can just see in the past 5 days, it's gone from 35,661 all the way to 32,230 yesterday at 12:30 p.m. Okay? So it's gone down over 2,000 points in just 5 days. Something like 2,300 points. Or 2,400 points in 5 days. Okay, now it went back up, but you can look up what took place on October 25th of 1929, before October 29th. You had up days in October of 1929 as well. The market is completely irrational and counterintuitive and unpredictable. What we do know is that, unfortunately, the Dow Jones is going to tank, and unfortunately, Bitcoin is going to continue to descend. I don't want that to take place. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Hit subscribe also to the Stock Market Crash channel. That is below in the pinned comment, as is my Federalist article. I don't want Bitcoin to get to 10,000, but it will. And the reason it will is because it's highly speculative and tied to the overall stock market and the Dow Jones. Jeremy Grantham thinks that the S&P will be cut by half. Who knows where the NASDAQ's going to go? Maybe 10,000. Who knows? But my official prediction of the stock market crash taking place last October in the Federalist is taking place. I also said years back that Clinton would lose to Trump. I'm not right about everything, but I've been spot on a number of things. And if you have Bitcoin, if you're in the market, please share this segment. And I understand it's not very interesting right now for a lot of people, or people don't see the political element here. We have Russia invading Ukraine. I explained in my last segment that President Zelensky of Ukraine already asked to be part of NATO. Biden and other NATO Biden, the U.S., other NATO members said, nah, you know what? We'll oppose Putin's aggression, but we're not going to let you in. So what kind of game are they playing? It's a racket. The whole thing's a racket. They have no intention of letting the Ukraine into NATO, while at the same time not letting them into NATO. They're pretending that they would be open to the possibility, knowing very well that Russia would never allow that to happen. This is a complete racket. This way they can get NATO to send jets and soldiers right next to Russia's borders, and there could be a confrontation to show that all the wonderful, morally superior Western countries are opposing aggression when they actually provoked this aggression. And I'm against what Russia is doing, invading Ukraine. God bless the people of Ukraine and the families and the loved ones and people who could suffer from this. But NATO is playing, and President Mashed Potato Brains Biden is playing a disingenuous game. It's a complete racket. They're using a country as a pawn, a chess piece, knowing very well that what they're doing is disingenuous. But again, China is about to invade Taiwan. They'll do so almost certainly they'll do so after the Olympics. Bitcoin is getting to 10,000. The Dow is going to get to 20,000. The market is going to absolutely tank this year because you have inflation that cannot be tamed. You cannot end inflation right now at 7%. They say 7% is really at 15%. It's really at 15%. And if you look, it doesn't take a long time. This is why I don't want it to happen. I respect people who invest in cryptocurrencies. I respect people who invest in Bitcoin. I don't say it gleefully. I always try to make, people understand I'm not, saying anything gleefully. I like Peter Schiff, but Peter Schiff has it out for cryptocurrencies. I'm not like that. But Peter Schiff is right in many respects. Inflation is closer to 15%. Gas prices are 50% higher. Your grocery bill is a lot more than 20%, which is what they say. Higher. You can't tame inflation with the interest rate increases because you have labor shortages and you have supply chain issues. This is a catastrophe, a dystopian nightmare brought to you by the same people who said, trust us, we're the authorities, we're the educated people in the room, and they ended economic activity in 2020. They did so in large part to kick Trump out of office. But look, it's $14,000, almost $15,000 shaved off from December 26th to January 24th. One month, 14,000. So, and by the way, the Fed hasn't raised interest rates yet. The quantitative easing hasn't entirely ended. We haven't seen the repercussions of Russia invading Ukraine or China invading Taiwan. Could you imagine when things get worse? Could you imagine? Hit subscribe to this channel. The best case scenario for Bitcoin was November and the beginning of December. The best case scenario for the Dow was November and beginning of December. Now you don't just have the worst case scenario. Every day is the worst case scenario for equities and speculative investments. The political component is that this was a direct result of shutting down or ending U.S. economic activity and the economic activity around the world. Inflation is through the roof everywhere. Every country that ended economic activity, inflation is through the roof. The smartest people in the room, the people who think that Trump is a menace to democracy, did this. They pushed for these policies. And now you have supply chain breakdown, inflation, everything horrible. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Please share this segment with anyone who has Bitcoin or who is in the stock market. And let me know what you think in the comments section. Hit subscribe to this channel. Be here tomorrow. I'll have a live stream earlier than usual, hopefully like around 3 or so, or 3 or 4. Thanks, everybody. Be here for the live stream tomorrow. Thank you.